Hello and welcome back. It's Kristina from Creating with Kristina, and this is my October Christmas card series with a new sketch and card every single day. Today we are on day 5, so we are on sketch 5. All right, let's turn it to sketch 5 right here. And in this sketchbook, you can also see I give examples and measurements. So that's an upgrade from my first card sketchbook. This is volume 2. All right. If you're finding the series for the first time, I've linked the full playlist at the top corner at the end of the video, and also at the bottom in the description, so you could go back and watch from the beginning. You'll also find a link to grab the sketchbook in the description if you have not purchased the sketchbook yet. All right, and also stay to the end for a bonus fall version of today's sketch. And also, because it's October's joining special and it's so exciting, I will be sharing a quick note about that too at the end. All right, let's get started. Like I said, this is my sketch 5 here. It has a base, 2 layers, and then a sentiment. Of course, you can do almost anything with this type of a sketch. And what we're going to do is, let me move the stamp set out of the way. Oh, and by the way, these cards are using the Modern Christmas Suite. And in the last 4 videos, I've been saying that this is the number to get the suite. No, this is the number to get the paper. Okay, so this is the item number for the Modern Christmas paper. But you could purchase the whole entire Modern Christmas Suite. That's in the store, or you can buy things individually like the paper and the stamp. There's twine that coordinates with it, and then there's also dies that coordinate with it. So it's a really great suite. I am using a 8.5 by 5.5 card base, and I'm doing it in the Mossy Meadow. The past 4 cards, I've stayed with just the black, white, and gold. This time we're going to bring in a little green. So let's get our bone folder out and make that a nice fold. All right, so this is our card base. Oh, and this is also a landscape card. So we'll put that up there to the top. Let me move these things out of the way. All right, and our sketch tells us that layer 1, and that's this gold piece, is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And then layer 2 is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Now, these 2 layers, they are going to lay on top of each other, and they are going to be what I call askew. That means they're twisted, and they go on the card front like this. Now, I have it so that, let me see. In the example, it shows this one kind of tilted this way. There we go. And then this one's just straight. And it should, let's see. Yeah. There we go. So I skewed it too much. There we go. Or no, I should say not enough. If you want my black with the gold stars, if you want that parallel, just kind of fiddle with it until you can still see the gold behind it, and then that on top. So that looks great. So let's go ahead and get that down before I move on. Move this back up, and you can see these pretty much go to the edges of the card. So that's how you can remember that. All right. So once again, almost, not quite to the card, and then about the same distance here. That looks nice. Whoopsie. No, we want the stars on top. So I'll put now this should, yeah, this looks great. All right. So if you get that on there nice and straight, you can still see the gold peeking out. Okay, we've got our layers on there. Now, this card, if you look at the example here, this layer 2, I stamped and adhered some flowers on the white cardstock here. This is our Christmas card. We are going to do an image there also, but instead of flowers, we're going to use the Christmas trees from the stamp set, and I'm stamping them in the Mossy Meadow. So I have them already done. pull those out. So we have this pine tree and this pine tree stamped in the mossy meadow. All right. Now this pine tree, I stamped in the mossy meadow, but I colored it with the old olive and the dark combo marker. That's one of our skin tone markers. And it is going to go right there. But this is going to go up on dimensionals, and then I'll tuck the other trees behind it. We're also going to decorate this middle tree. But first, let's get it up on dimensionals. Hold on. There we go. And because I'm tucking the other trees behind it, I am not going to put dimensionals on the edge. I'm just going to put them here in the center. There we go. I hope you all are enjoying this card series. If you are, please let me know in the comments. You know, I love to hear from you all. I love to hear what you're doing, what you're up to. How are your Christmas cards coming along? Yep. Yeah. Talk to me. Tell me what you're doing in the comments. All right. So we're going to put that pine tree right there. Okay. And then we're going to lift this one up a little bit, so it doesn't look like 3 pine trees in a row, but we have a little dimension there. Okay, now that I have the trees on there, like I said, I wanted to decorate this tree. So I took my 1/4-inch punch, paper punch, hole punch, that's what I'm trying to say. Whoops. With the gold foil paper, and I punched out 7. I don't know if I'll need all 7. And then the star is a part of the dies. Okay, so there's a star right there. Yep. All right, and I'm going to get out my glue and my tweezers because these are little bitty items. And first, before we decorate, before we glue them down, let's place them on the tree and see if we like where they're going. Oh, come on. There must be some glue on the tip of my tweezers. Yeah, I don't think that's too many ornaments. I know it's kind of hard to see in the video. Let me zoom in a little bit for you so y'all can see better. There we go. Bring it down some. All right, so y'all can see it better there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to pick up an ornament. Come here, ornament. And I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of glue, not very much. Okay, that was a little bit much. Hold on. I'm going to use this wax paper in the middle here to kind of get some of that glue off of there. All right. And then this one, I'm going to stick in that glue. There we go. And then I think that's what I'm going to do for all of them. So I'm using the waxy paper. Whoops, I'm sorry. You can't see my dimensional paper. This waxy part of, well, you can't see it from there either. I'm zoomed in too much. There we go. Put a little glue right there on that waxy part. So I don't have to keep squeezing the bottle. And I can just pick the ornament up, stick it in the glue, put the ornament back down. Yeah, this goes much faster. There we go. I wish decorating my own tree was this easy. How many of you still put your Christmas tree up? I know some people don't. My mother stopped putting her tree up at the end when there wasn't anyone there. She says, just too much trouble and nobody comes to see it. I was like, oh, well, you know. But yeah, I still get, even though it's just my husband and I still get our tree out, and it's more for me. I love the tree. I do get my grandkids occasionally to come over some years and try to help decorate it. It's just really funny because they're all barely 4 feet tall. And so all the ornaments are right there at the 4-foot level when they decorate for me. Oh, it's so fun. Okay, so our little tree is, I'm going to pull that up so you can see it better, is decorated, a pretty little decorated tree. And now we need a sentiment. So I have a long strip of white and a strip of the gold. They're both a 1/2-inch strips. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more so you can still see. There we go. I'm going to stamp the sentiment here. However, the stamp is originally wishing you peace and joy. That is too long. If I put that on there, it would go all the way across. I don't like that. So I thought, well, you know what? We don't have to have the whole state sentiment. I cut it right there between the peace and the U. And so now I have peace and joy, and I like that much better. All right. So we're going to, and I think I did that on one of the other ones also, but all right, where am I? I need ink. That's what I need. What am I doing here? All right. Okay. There we go. And I did it in the Mossy Meadow. So there's a lot of Mossy Meadow on this card. The other ones have been a lot of black and gold. So it's nice to have a little difference here. Now I want this gold one to be longer than the white one. And I need my snips. So how I'm going to do that is I'm first going, and I'm just doing a simple cut. There we go. Just a little diagonal like that. And now I'm going to layer that on top like that. Okay. And I'm going to cut this one a little further out. There we go. So now I have them like that. So let me put some adhesive back here and then stick that on the gold. Okay, perfect. And of course we need some dimensionals. Oh, I almost forgot the twine. Okay, where did I put it? Here it is. Phew, I don't want to forget the twine. I have really liked using both of them at the same time. I've been kind of doing that on all these cards. Now, I want a messy, like a, yeah, let's see. That looks good, right? Well, I don't want it to be on the top of the tree. That'll look funny. A little bit under the tree. That looks okay. Or even further down. Because even though the sentiment is up here, it doesn't have to be up here. It doesn't even have to be on the left. You can put it on the right. So either way. Okay, I don't know. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. Because the peace and the joy are... I stamped them way far over. That's why my sample is a little different from the one I made. I think I'm going to put it right there. Yeah. All right. So let me... And then the twine. Okay, so one way I do twine, there's two different ways. Sometimes I do a big bow and then I just stick it on there and it's got a loop and a string on both sides. Other times I take it and I wrap it around my fingers and like make a nest. All right, and snip that. And then like let it fall messy. It really is falling messy. Even the little strands here are falling messy. Okay. And we'll just stick that up there. Okay. And that's the nice thing about having the adhesive on here is that you can just kind of stick. And now turn it over and you have like this little nest of string. It looks really fun. Okay, now let's put the dimensionals on there. That's good. Actually, I think I would like a strip of dimensional here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So when you have the edges like this, and I only need about that much. Let's do it that way. There we go. Then that way I also get the twine under the dimensional, so it gives it extra support, security, stableness. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. All right, we're just being done. There we go. All right, so there is card number 5. Really simple. It's just 2 layers, kind of askew, a sentiment, and then some kind of image over here. Or you wouldn't even have to put an image. We sell paper that looks like watercolor paintings in a museum. And if you cut out the picture you wouldn't have to put anything else. You would just need the sentiment and your card would be done. So this is a really fun sketch to use when you've got designer paper that it actually has a beautiful image on it. Okay, there is the Christmas card. Would you like to see the autumn, the fall one? There we go. That's what I'm trying to say, the fall one. All right, let me get some of this out of the way. Here we go. And here we are, the autumn one. So on this card, once again, just two pieces that are askew. All right. And then this is from the Amber Autumn stamp set. I love this little collection, the pumpkins and squash, corn. And then in that, the dies, there are some leaf dies and some, looks like wheat dies. And so to kind of make spray behind it, grateful for you. And there we go. So that's the fall one and the Christmas one. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. All the products I used will be linked below in the description. I love helping people get the most out of their crafting. And this October, Stampin' Up! Is giving you 2 ways to start with a bang. Buy $125 worth of product for only $35 or $189 worth of product for only $99. Now, both of these are free shipping. And if you've been thinking about it, this is such a great gift to yourself. Don't forget, come back tomorrow for day 6. I cannot wait to keep creating with you. Bye-bye.